when was the last time y'all had sex?
That would be before she, like, back in October.
Okay.
That one brief trip. We saw each other in Santa Cruz and did a 4-hour bike ride, but we just met at a cafe and went for a bike ride. And then
so since October, you've had no sex with Mo?
No.
Okay. You're with one girl, and then you go over there, and she's gonna get pissed off. That's the reality, right? And so that's why you changed her name in there, because you were nervous that she would get pissed off. Because any normal girl that's been with somebody for years is gonna be pissed off if they're talking to somebody else. Right?
That makes sense.
No. Yeah, they're supposed to be really close.
I mean, we're not really close.
Mm-hmm.
We were intimate for a week,
mm-hmm.
and we've kept up, and we've seen each other about 3 or 4 times in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
She's an amazing spirit.
What the fucking fuck? What the fuck happened? What on earth is going on?
It seems like you have more of a connection with her than you do with Caitlyn, honestly.
That's arbitrary statement.
No, it's just the way you talk about her.
These are different attributes. Would I want to be Mo's partner? I don't think so. She's way too quiet and reserved and not super fun-loving and playful. So
is that what Caitlyn is, or?
I would describe her as, yes.
Okay.
Those attributes, which is why we get along. We're joking half the time.
Mm-hmm.
On the bike.
Is that Mo?
Yeah, that's Mo. And this is more complexity, but I have it saved as a different name just because I am a...
I gotcha. You said it was Christine.
Pretty much, I feel the right to have a friendship with this person without having like constant strife.
Yeah.
Oh, sounds great. I'm dying out here at 3:47.
Can you tell me, did they take her from my house?
So our crime scene unit, they're still there right now. They're processing everything.
She's just still laying there.
So right now she is, because we want to make sure that we do everything right.
No, I understand, but she's just by herself.
I know.
Okay. But they're not gonna leave her.
No.
Like, she'll never be, like, actually alone.
No, not at all.
Thanks to The Docket on YouTube for going to bat to obtain the bulk of these videos from Austin, Texas. Please subscribe to his channel at the link below. You can also watch these full raw videos at the links below to my Patreon account. Colin Strickland's first interview with the cops on May 12th, 2022, happened only hours after his girlfriend, Caitlyn Armstrong, murdered a woman that Colin once briefly dated named Anna Mariah Mo Wilson. Colin's full painful interview lasts 6.5 hours. I tried to edit it down to 4 hours, speed up the parts with no talking, and improve the audio, but my MacBook ran out of room, so the entire raw video is at the links below. When was the last time y'all had sex? The female cop asked Colin. That would be back in October, Colin said of murder victim Mo. That's intense information. Colin said after a cop told him that his girlfriend Caitlyn's vehicle was at Mo's murder scene. At other times, Colin displayed raw emotion. No, Colin said to himself as he sat in the corner on the floor of the interrogation room during the times he was left alone. He couldn't fathom that his girlfriend killed Mo, a woman he dated briefly and secretly. Colin explained to police how he asked Caitlyn to move out of his home briefly during the week or so that he messed around with Mo. Later in this video, we'll listen to a couple of anonymous callers explain how Colin kind of kept Caitlyn on a string how angry his dating Mo made her and how Caitlyn was likely ready to marry Colin. However, he couldn't connect the dots that treating an unhinged woman that way could drive her to violence. "I'm not willing to go there," Colin told the female cop who extracted more information out of Colin when she entered the room. The male cop was the good cop who spent a lot of time with Colin initially. Colin only admitted that he took an Ambien the night before, but said he didn't know why Caitlyn's vehicle was near the place where Mo stayed the night she lost her life in that cold-blooded shooting. Overall, Colin was pretty even-tempered and annoying in the way he refused to acknowledge that his jealous girlfriend could have harmed Mo in any way. Although he was a victim in this scenario, he held back a lot of information and seemed emotionless for most of the hours-long interview. Colin was generally very even-keeled, spoke at a really low volume, and chose his words carefully. He wouldn't admit how angry Caitlyn would have been if she knew he was with Mo right before her murder. Colin skirted around the issue that he changed Mo's name in his phone to another woman's name, because it would make Caitlyn really mad if she knew he was communicating with Mo. He kept saying he felt like he had the right to have a friendship with Mo. Colin only admitted that he'd had a conversation with Caitlyn 3 days prior to this interview, wherein he told Caitlyn that she needed to stop coming to bike races with him, but travel with her peers instead of with Colin at the events where he's a professional racer. He didn't bring up the fact that he had conversations via text with Caitlyn about not bringing Mo to some location. Please be an adult. He had texted Caitlyn at one point when Caitlyn told Colin that she knew he knew better than to show up at an event with that woman, as Caitlyn derisively referred to Mo. Colin did finally admit that maybe it wasn't a glitch that Mo was blocked as a contact in his phone. Other than that, Colin seemed to want to wash his hands of any notion that stringing 2 women along might make the unstable one flip out. Colin viewed Caitlyn as a sweet girl, kind of a softie, he called her. He told the cops that if he had any inclination that Caitlyn was violent, he would have never had her around his own mother. Colin explained that he did purchase guns for himself and for Caitlyn, but in his wildest nightmares, Colin had no idea that by letting Caitlyn live with him and sleep with him, he was sleeping with a very jealous enemy. 5 days after his first interview with police, Colin Strickland returned with his lawyer. He seemed even more guarded and thought the cops were trying to pin the murder of Mo Wilson on him, or at least involve him in some way. However, Colin insisted all along that he had no idea about the horrors of the crime that Caitlyn was planning to commit, and even carried through with on May 11th, 2022, when she took the beautiful spirit that was Mo off this earth.
I just feel like I was literally just pushed into a corner and just had no idea, in a state of shock. And I don't know what your prerogative, I don't know what the law is about what you can tell a witness or a suspect. I imagine it's anything, and that would make total sense to me. But from my personal standpoint, I don't know. And so my world is essentially just shaken. And
Of course, yeah.
well, but then, yourself and the other detective were then just pushing a narrative based on something that I don't know if you're obligated to tell the truth to, and I don't care. It's not personal.
I would rather
I feel like they're just leading a narrative. They're just trying to lead me along. And do I
Here's what you do.
answer?
Here's what you do. You don't have to answer. We can walk out anytime.
I don't know
okay?
whether it's
Okay.
that's.
It's totally permissible. It's nothing they can hold against you. It is you would be finished talking, and I'm happy to do that for you.
There's plenty of other things to do with your life, plenty of other people. So
Right. Plenty of healthier ways to be in a relationship.
there's a lot of people I could spend my time. Could have been spending my last 3 years with. I just can't. I'm not going to make any speculations about what I think. I mean, if I had the most remote signs of somebody having instability of mental capacity, I would not be in close, intimate, committed relationship with them, sharing my whole life.
Yeah.
So that's all I can say.
Now, you've been in a relationship with Caitlyn, so you can actually provide that insight.
Yes. Well,
And so if
is like the basis of my entire relationship with this woman. She's an incredibly kind, caring, sweet person who has helped me take care of my aging mother. She helped her secure like $20,000 in unemployment by just being on the phone for 5 days. She has only shown shining examples. I mean, in my experience, has only shown absolute above and beyond examples of human compassion and thoughtfulness and care, and going far out of her way for ridiculous things, like ridiculous extents, to help other humans. And that's just been my experience. That's why I've been with her for 3 years even.
Yeah.
No, she's never mentioned wanting to physically hurt.
Okay. Do you think that she is capable of hurting Mo?
If I thought she was physically capable of hurting another human, I would have extricated myself immediately from that situation. Not so much for my own personal safety, but my concern for another human.
So what's that answer?
The answer is no.
Okay.
I don't believe in any way she's capable of that.
Okay.
Can we do a cheek swab? Do you need any other information?
Yeah, we can definitely do the cheek swab. Do you know of anyone that you could think of just right off the top of your head that would want to hurt Mo or even kill Mo? I know that kill is a hard thing to even concept of anybody trying to or wanting to kill somebody else. So that's kind of why I'm saying, do you know of anybody that would want to hurt her?
You're saying off the top of my head. I don't know. I have not even researched the name of her ex-boyfriends.
Okay.
So I don't know them at all.
Yeah.
I haven't. I know that there was one that was just understandably angry that she was hanging out with me in October. Am I implicating somebody? I'm just stating a fact. That's all I would say.
Of course.
To that.
Of course.
In Austin, I don't know.
Okay.
I can't answer that. I don't have any information regarding that.
Okay. And of course I have to ask you, did you kill Mo?
I did not kill Mariah.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything that you can think of that would help us in our investigation that you haven't told us yet?
Find some fucking cameras.
Yeah, we've been working on that.
Get this cheek swab.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm very glad that you, aren't reporting on the last 5 days you spent with Caitlyn, because that would be an excruciating thing to talk about, right? So I'm glad that there was that separation, and so you can, with certainty, pinpoint the very limited conversation. And I think rather than muddying it by y'all haven't spent time together, it's able to separate your facts from things you've gathered by virtue of being in conversations, because that happens all the time. And I hope this is the last time they have to talk to you, and you have the right to say no more.
So all I'm going to do, I'm just going to take both these and just swab like the inside of your cheek here, and then just the inside of your other cheek as well. And that's it.
Sure.
All right. All right. That is it, sir.
It's just such a mundane experience.
Yeah. It's something that nobody ever wants to be a part of and hopes that they're never a part of.
Well, I just mean from a memory basis. I've grown up in Austin. I've lived here for 35 years. I've driven all these roads so many times. I've seen sketchy things. I've seen normal things, and I have so many memories. And it was just another mundane Austin evening of going to a pool and going to get some food. I've dropped a friend off hundreds of times at their apartment or whatever house after a motorcycle ride, and so
Okay. Yeah, if your dad does talk to Caitlyn again, please pass on the information, or at the very least see if she'll even provide her attorney's name for us, and that way, we can just get in contact with the attorney if she doesn't want to necessarily speak with us. That's fine too.
Was your dad just calling to check in because she's a member of the family, or
yeah,
what?
essentially. Okay. She's been a part of our lives for 3+ years. This is the driveways right here. This is the main road. This is dry stack that I did many years ago. This entire row of stones was flipped over. The entire row. Now this could be neighborhood kids doing something weird in the middle of the night. I didn't hear it either. And these weren't just like pulled, they were like, you can see the impact.
Yeah.
They were like flipped.
Yeah.
Like limestone doesn't,
No, yeah.
it chips if it falls hard. So this entire row of stone. And at the very end, under this stone, there were $2 bills.
That's weird.
That's very weird.
Like that. On Thursday the 12th, and she rang my doorbell, and I have the Nest video of it, and he sent me that. And it's essentially 2:35 p.m.
Okay.
And she's effectively, she was a little distraught.
Yeah.
And she said, I don't have a phone. Or, I have a bit of an emergency. She's not, freaked out. I assume this is when the detectives arrived and took her phone. So this all seems to check out. Anyway, I'm just, yes, there is this. But
okay.
At first he had said it was Tuesday, and I was like,
yeah.
Your neighbor Caitlyn across the street with Colin.
But then he said, oh, sorry, that was actually
Okay, how are you?
Thursday, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Wondering if I could trouble you to use your cell phone. There's kind of a situation going on, and I can't get access to my cell phone, and I need to make a phone call. It's kind of urgent.
I'm actually in Houston right now. I'm not even there.
Nobody's here?
No, I don't have anybody here at the house.
No worries. Thanks anyways.
I'm so sorry. Right next door on the other side, they're usually home, just on both sides of me.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Of course, if you need any else help, just call me back. I can call somebody for you from here.
Okay, I will do that if I can't get a hold of them. Thank you again.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay.
That's my complaint.
Yeah. Alright. But yeah, again, if anything weird happens, especially that, like what you showed me on the photos, please either reach out to me or reach out to her. And
it was a very strange time for that to happen. There was no real
very much so.
Story breaking.
Yeah. At that point. So anyway. No, I hope anything is helpful. Oh yeah, definitely.
Colin explained to the male cop that he got a criminal defense attorney. Claire, the lawyer, said she advised Colin to separate himself from Caitlyn after Mo's murder. Colin also got swabbed for DNA on May 17, 2022, at the end of the interview. In Caitlyn Armstrong's full, raw, unedited video from May 12, 2022, she was as cold as ice and cooler than a cucumber only hours after murdering Mo. Caitlyn was brought in to speak with police, and she was more upset about being handcuffed in front of her neighbors than the loss of her love rival's life via a brutal shooting, wherein Caitlyn landed 3 fatal shots into Mo the night before, the last shot landing in Mo's heart. That body-worn camera video is too brutal to publish anywhere, when an officer valiantly gives Mo CPR, trying to save her young, 25-year-old life. During the interview, the cops got confused about whether or not Caitlyn had an outstanding warrant, so they left her cooling her yoga pant-clad heels for periods of time before letting her go free. It would take more than 40 days to capture and arrest Caitlyn in Costa Rica on June 29th, 2022, at a hostel on Santa Teresa Beach in Provincia de Punta Arenas. Back in Austin, one officer told Caitlyn that her car was seen in the area of the murder. Caitlyn said she wanted to leave if she was free to leave. She repeated that phrase and asked for a ride back home. Caitlyn claimed she knew nothing about her boyfriend going out with Mo the night before. At the end of this video, we will listen to 2 anonymous phone callers explain the love triangle between Colin, Caitlyn, and Mo. I wanted to kill her. No. Like I really wanted to kill her. Those are the words that a female caller said she heard come directly out of Caitlyn's mouth, speaking about her jealousy towards Mo after discovering Colin was sleeping with Mo at some point during their relationship. Colin claims there was no overlap and that he only slept with Mo during his break from Caitlyn. Mo is a secret. Colin is the last person to see her in Austin. Caitlyn is kind of my friend. I'm not saying she did it. I just think she definitely could be a person of interest, said the anonymous caller in the upcoming audio. Caitlyn also deleted her Instagram profile. The woman who was her friend explained to cops in the 14-minute call. The woman said that she didn't think Colin had anything to do with the murder of Mo, but she believed he could be hiding something or covering for Caitlyn. She said that Colin would bring Caitlyn around and had dated her for years, but he wouldn't openly claim her as his girlfriend. The woman said that Caitlyn got angry when she discovered Colin was sleeping with Mo. Caitlyn was very upset at Mariah, the woman told the cops. We're all pretty tight, that's why I can't reveal my name, she said. The woman caller was obviously fearful of what could happen. We're drinking at an after party, she's shaking, we're drinking. The woman explained the noisy scenario during which Caitlyn unloaded her ill feelings about the love triangle. She said, I think he cares about Caitlyn, but he's kind of like leading her on this line. You're my girlfriend. You're not my girlfriend. Cheating on her. She said in the audio that gets dicey at times during the calls. The second anonymous caller was a man who said that Caitlyn was very reliant on Colin and seemed like she didn't have a lot of friends of her own. He described a scene where Caitlyn was all over Colin physically, nearly sitting on his lap during some sort of professional event. The caller said that Colin took the relationship as on again, off again. Conversely, Caitlyn seemed like she was ready to settle down and have kids, whereas Colin wasn't anywhere near ready for all that. Colin would pick and choose which events he would allow Caitlyn to appear with him, something that seemed frustrating to Caitlyn. One of the callers also mentioned that there were nearly no photos of Caitlyn on Colin's Instagram page. Indeed, when researching this case 2 years ago, I had to dig back through many photos to only find 2 photos of Caitlyn on Colin's Instagram, and I found it curious how he called her my friend in the caption. Once again, check the links below to watch the full interviews. I'll let you listen to both calls now. Hosea 13:4, Yet I have been the Lord your God since the time you became a nation in the land of Egypt, and you were not to know any God except me, for there is no Savior besides me. Also, right after midnight, Caitlyn Cash was brought in for an interview that lasted about 2.5 hours. Cash explained how Mo was one of her best friends. You can watch that interview after listening to these 2 phone calls. Cash was devastated over the loss. She explained how Mo and Colin had hooked up the year before, with Mo even staying a couple of days with Colin, but it seemed more like a fling than dating. Cash didn't know Colin very well, and even though she had just met Mo the prior year, Cash grew really close to Mo. Cash even spent the previous Christmas in Vermont with Mo's family. In the interview, they swabbed Cash for gunshot residue and took her DNA, but the officer explained he didn't think she had anything to do with Mo's death.
Hey Jen, I think I was talking to you earlier.
Yes, ma'am.
About shit. I can't, every time I call the line, it's staticky and I can hear myself talk back to them.
I'm so sorry.
So, it's okay. I've tried 3 times. I'm just going to tell you, I'm just not going to divulge everything, but I just am going to give a name and then the reason for why I think you should look into the person, and it's okay. I'm not going to give my name.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Give me all the information that you can, and
okay.
how you got the information. Just because, you know, we have to be able to back up where we get stuff. You know what I mean?
I know. Right. I just feel like if I give you a name, though, you might want to look down that avenue of a person. Is all.
Okay. Go with what you got.
So in no way am I saying that this person has committed this crime. First of all, regarding the murder of Mariah Wilson earlier this week.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about?
So I didn't work that case, but I am familiar with it.
Okay, so she is a well-known gravel racer in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I am connected in that scene. Let's see, I do know Colin Strickland pretty well, and Caitlyn Armstrong pretty well. I would say, there was a conversation that I had with Caitlyn Armstrong back in January regarding Mariah Wilson.
Okay. Was that over the phone or in person?
In person.
Okay.
This was at I don't know if I should even disclose the location. This was at like a event after party. There was lots of people around. So I don't know how much information you have on this, but Caitlyn Armstrong and Colin Strickland have been together. They're like a couple for the last few years. I do know that Colin has been seeing Mariah Wilson on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlyn has found out about it back in January, and that was a big issue. And the conversation at the time that I was having with her, she was very upset. Mariah was in the same vicinity at the same party, and she was very shaken up. And she was shaking, trembling, and telling me how upset she was. Caitlyn was very, very upset. And the words that she used to me led me to believe that she might be a person to look into, is all I want to say about that. I don't really want to... enough to know that, like, I thought she was just upset at the time, and people say things, and then I'm like, okay, you know, just calm down. And then I had messaged her the next day through text, Caitlyn, to see if she was okay, and she's like, yeah. At the time, she was working things out with Colin, and she had told me that Colin had told Mariah that they're getting back together, but what Caitlyn was so upset about is that Mariah was being aggressive in a way that she kept texting and not leaving Colin alone. My point is, there's like a love triangle here, and I don't know if anybody knows of that. If you go on to, for instance, Colin's profile page on his Instagram or Facebook, there's no pictures of Caitlyn, really. They were business partners together. I think she does either... No, Caitlyn and Colin.
Okay.
Colin, besides being a gravel racer, he also, like, he does, he repairs, like, Airstreams and sells them. And so this is, like, a new business that he had started, and Caitlyn is in, like, accounting or finance, and so she was helping him, like, on the financial side, but they're also, like, a couple. However, Colin has always kind of kept her at a distance, if that makes sense. Like, I know this because we're all kind of running the same circle, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
At a distance
I
from
just-
like the group, like was everybody
No,
aware of
meaning
it, or
aware of it. Yeah, he doesn't like announce it to the public that, hey, this is my girlfriend, but he takes her everywhere. Like at a gravel race.
even though he's openly with
Correct.
Caitlyn.
He's openly with Caitlyn. Mo is a secret. Mo is definitely, nobody knows about that. And anyway, I just think what was said to me that night and how upset she was about it, I'm just, from what I have found out through friends, that Colin was the last person to see her in Austin. And I just find it very odd that one, she would go down there. Like, I know she had a friend that she was staying with, and that's, I guess, where the killer or the murder happened. But I believe Colin dropped her off that night, is what I was told. He told a friend that told me. So I don't know if that's true. But if that is true, it seems very weird after what was told to me by Caitlyn, that maybe it was like an accident or like an act of passion. I don't know. Caitlyn is actually kind of my friend, so I feel really weird even calling to say this, but I'm not saying obviously that she did it. It could have been a random act by some other person. I just think she definitely could be a person of interest, is all I'm saying.
Person of interest.
Correct.
Okay.
That's really all I wanted to say. So if she's not maybe being questioned. I also went on Instagram and she deleted her Instagram profile, which I thought was odd too. And maybe it's because it just looks bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, it obviously looks bad if there's a 3-love triangle going on. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't mean she's guilty of anything, so it could have been something simple as that.
Did Caitlyn know where Mariah was staying here in Austin?
I have no idea. I have not talked to Caitlyn. We talked through text because we were going to do a trip together sometime this spring. I have not hung out with Caitlyn but a handful of times with Colin. It's always been with Colin because they're dating.
Colin's sort of the center of the circle.
Yes, yes, he's definitely the center of the circle. Do I think he had any part of this? Probably not. I don't think so. But could he be hiding something to protect Caitlyn? I don't know. You know what I mean? I have no idea. I know they had him in questioning for the last 2 days. I do know that because, again, we have a close personal friend, a mutual friend, and anyway, I'm not going to just say how I'm connected, but I do know that you guys had him in for questioning, and I don't know if you've questioned Caitlyn, but I just think if you saw text messages through Colin and Mariah, you would know that there's, like, something going. Do you know what I mean? And it's something that should be looked at, is all I'm saying.
Okay. So was the side relationship between Colin and Mariah still going on since Caitlyn found out about it in January?
I would assume because they were together in Austin.
Okay.
Like, Colin told a friend, who I'm not going to say, that he dropped her off at 10 o'clock on, I want to say, I guess that would be the night that it happened. Now, again, this is hearsay, but, you know what I mean, I didn't talk to that person directly, but that was what he told them, and so he got taken in for questioning. So, you know what I mean? Like, why would they be hanging out? Maybe they're just friends now, but I know that they were sleeping together at one point, and I know there was an issue with, and I had texted Caitlyn, I want to say, I'd have to look back at my text, but I asked, I was like, hey, how are you and Colin doing? You know, are you guys good now? And she's like, yes, everything's good. He's been amazing. So that was a couple months ago. So this was all somewhat recent. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I haven't talked to anybody really since then. I just giving you the information that I do know that there was a situation going on between the three of them some time ago, and Caitlyn was very upset at Mariah.
Right.
So Mo, we call her Mo. So.
Do you know what type of car Caitlyn has, or does anyone else drive it?
I have no idea. I don't know anything. Yeah. I've been to her house once or twice, like, I want to say a couple years ago when we were in town in Austin. Like, I've stayed with Colin in Austin, and Caitlyn was there hanging out. So we're all pretty tight, and that's why I can't reveal my name or how I know this. We're very involved in the gravel community, and if somebody knew that I gave this tip, and it was, you know what I mean, and this was the wrong direction, it would be just terrible. So, on my life and my husband's life. So.
know, but you're doing the right thing.
I've been worked up about this for 2 days before it even came out in the paper. I knew that Colin was being questioned because, again, we have, like, a friend had talked to Colin anyway. He didn't, I guess, divulge any information except that he was being brought in to questioning and then we couldn't get a hold of him for like a day and a half. So I would assume he was there.
Okay. Do you have Caitlyn's phone number to verify that we have the right number?
I do. Hold on just a second. I have 512.
Mm-hmm. Do you have an email address for her?
No, I don't know. I can't remember what street. We were riding bikes and we stopped at her house. This was like, I want to say 2 years ago when she was still hanging, she was just recently started dating Colin. Trying to think if I have any other information. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I should tell you the words that were used in the conversation. I don't know if that would make me...
be helpful.
She used the word, she was like, I wanted to kill her, and I was like, okay, people say that, right, when they find out they're being cheated on by somebody, some other girl, and I'm like, I didn't think anything of it, and she's like, no, I mean, like, I really wanted to kill her, and I can't remember if she said, I almost bought a gun, or I bought a gun, like, I don't remember. It was like, literally, we're drinking at a party, at an after party, she's shaking, it's like loud, there's music and other people around, and she's telling me this, it's not like, you know what I mean? And then I was like, calmed her down, and I was like, I basically kind of made it like this is all kind of Colin's fault, because I know that Colin, I think he cares about Caitlyn, but like, he's kind of like leaving her on this line, you know what I mean? Like, you're my girlfriend, but you're not my girlfriend, and I feel like he's putting her in a weird situation, and anyway, for her to be upset about it, and then him cheating on her with Mo, like, I know, I can understand her frustration, but like, yeah, and so, again, it could be just, and that just seemed, and then when I found out that she was down there seeing Colin, I gasped. Like,
so is there any other reason for her to be down here other than to see Colin?
Well, in the newspaper it says that she was staying with a friend. Mm-hmm. But I would assume she was down in Texas for a gravel race, Gravel Locos. Everybody knows that was in the paper. But if you look at the map, Gravel Locos is like not near Austin. So I think she kind of made a trip out of it to see Colin. That's what I'm guessing that happened. So no, I don't know for sure. No, I do not. I don't know Mariah Wilson very well. I have hung out with her a couple times at some gravel events, okay, but I don't know her well at all. I do know Caitlyn pretty decently, yeah. So, yeah.
Is that the only time Caitlyn said anything about wanting to hurt
Correct.
Mariah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said when she said this, you sort of said, well, people can feel that way when they're hurt. And no,
I don't. No, I'm not even going to say like word for word because it was a blur. Mm-hmm. I just know that she used those words, and like that's the thing. I can't even say verbatim the conversation. That conversation went out the window. Like that was back in January. Okay. When that conversation had the end of January.
Okay.
Is when I have the exact date, and I even texted her the next day and said, "Hey, I appreciate you. Like telling me this information. I'm glad you felt like you could because me and her aren't tight like that. Mm-hmm. So that's why I don't even know why she would have said something like that to me during that time. I mean, we're friends, but like almost acquaintances friends. Like I can count on maybe 2 hands the amount of times I've hung out with her. So." I think it was just a spur of a moment. It was because I think Mariah was there. She was shaking and she was upset, and she knows that I know all of them. Like I know Colin and I know Mo and I know the situation, so I think she felt like she could tell me what was going on and how she felt. But I just took it like as that she's not serious about this. But then when she said no, like she either said I was thinking about getting a gun or I did, and I honestly cannot remember.
Okay.
Like this went over and over in my head, and I just know that the word gun though, like, and the word like feeling like she wanted to kill her, that all, like, came back to me when I found out this happened, and I was like, oh my God.
Right.
So I'm, again, not saying anything happened. It could have been just saying she should probably be questioned.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
Oh, okay.
I know that was hard for you. You have some text messages. What text messages do you have, like screenshots?
It was honestly just a text message the day after that happened. It says, I texted her and said, hey, I hope you're doing okay. Thanks for telling me that information. And she's like, yeah, no problem. I just kind of unloaded last night, but thanks for listening. That was it. And then I think maybe a month later, I texted her and asked her how her and Colin were doing, and she said we're doing great. So that's the last time I heard.
Okay.
Like, that we talked about that situation. Everything else, and I have messaged her recently, but it has nothing to do with, it's just talking about bikes, riding bikes, and doing like a trip together.
Right. Okay.
So,
well,
that's
if you
it.
get any more information you want to talk about, just call this number. You can leave a message and somebody can call you back as well.
Okay.
All right. Hang in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Sir, Detective Spender. Hello. I called yesterday offering some info on Mo Wilson's murder, and and I have a little other bit of information that I don't know if it's helpful or not. Obviously, there's a good chance y'all are way ahead of us on this. No idea where it stands right now, but just wanted to was wondering if you're familiar with Caitlyn Armstrong's connection with Cozumel, and that she spends a significant amount of time down there. I don't know where you stand on all that, but not knowing what that situation was like, I just wanted to throw that out there, just having no idea whether it's helpful or not, but it crossed my mind.
So, I do actually have a little bit of a quick question about that. So, obviously she's very familiar with traveling and stuff like that. Whenever she travels, is that something that she will do on, like any of the commercial flights, or is she one that will, like, charter a jet and fly, like, kind of like a private jet or something?
As far as I know, she doesn't have those sorts of means. Okay. I'm not. I know her. I've spent a decent amount of time with her, but I don't know her well. And I have never heard anyone talk about her having that sort of capability.
Okay.
I don't know anything about her family really, other than that she's from Santa Monica. I was part of a small group that was renting a house there one January, and she was staying in the house with us, and mentioned that she had a couple of friends in the area, and I can't even remember if she said she still had family in the area, but Santa Monica was home originally. I know that much. Obviously, certain demographic down there, a lot of private jet owners, I guess. But as far as I know, her family does not come from quite that amount of affluence.
Okay. Awesome. And have you heard anything else at all, like through the grapevine or anything of just anything that might help us, other than what you mentioned yesterday?
No. From what I can tell, one of the things that I guess in hindsight maybe should have been in the back of our mind is a little weird, is that it didn't seem like she had a whole lot of friends. She obviously was quite reliant on Colin for a lot of things, not the least of which was just kind of filling a lot of her social needs, it seemed like. So no, I mean, I don't have a ton of connections with her that feel super direct other than Colin. Like, I don't know any other people that would really call her a good friend, so to speak.
How was Colin and Caitlyn's relationship?
Definitely on again, off again. It was pretty weird, I would say. I don't think anyone within our friend group ever really knew exactly how to assess it. It seemed like, she, not to sound like, not to exaggerate, but she probably, would have loved to have settled down and gotten married and had kids type thing. Yeah. And Colin was not even close to that level of commitment from what I could tell. Yeah. Seemed like he always tried to keep her a little bit at an arm's distance. I think they were sort of together for, upwards of 4 years. Yeah. And it almost seemed like he would pick and choose how he wanted to be seen with her, like at certain events. Even if she was there, if she traveled with him to the event, she wouldn't necessarily be like at the finish line. But she might be at some dinner where, it was a smaller group type thing. So it was always a little weird in that regard. Yeah. And it seemed like she was pretty frustrated by that. She also seemed to operate in a little bit different world maybe than the rest of us. Like, I know, this is a little bit of a prevalent perspective these days, but I remember one conversation we had with her. My partner and I were at Colin's house for dinner, and it was just the four of us, and we were talking about vaccines and that sort of thing, and whether everyone was going to be getting vaccinated, whether they'd been vaccinated. And I remember Caitlyn just getting very stone-faced and saying something along the lines of, "I will never get vaccinated because when I allow that, then the government will own my DNA." And I remember everyone just kind of being like, "Whoa, that's a little out there, a little bit different than maybe the rest of us feel about this." So she seemed to maybe be running on a little bit of a different track. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Lone wolf, I would say, overall. It felt like.
Would you ever think that, that she was controlling over Colin, or she was abusive to Colin, and maybe not necessarily, physically abusive, but, more, mentally abusive, anything like that?
I could see her flying off the handle, for sure, emotionally. Colin is, he's been one of the best athletes in the country for a while, so he's a bit of an alpha dog in his own right. Yeah. But he's the sort of person who, if there was some sort of confrontation, verbally, or a disagreement, like he would almost like remove himself, I think, more than escalate. Just personally, that's the person I know with Colin. Yeah. So in regards to that dynamic, I could see that actually being, like, he's more avoidant than confrontational, so I could actually see that contributing to Caitlyn's frustration over time with kind of this love triangle that was going on, and the fact that, Colin ultimately just wouldn't do anything decisively about it, like cut one off or the other. But yeah, that's just my assessment, I guess.
I remember you had mentioned yesterday that, I guess, she's gone dark, deleted social media and stuff like that. I know that she had an Instagram account. Was there any other social media accounts that she had?
Not that I know of.
Okay, so it's just the Instagram one.
She has Strava.
Of course, yeah.
If you're familiar with that, yeah. But other than that, no. Are y'all, I'm sure you can't share, but is this looking promising, or is it proving kind of frustrating thus far?
No. Our investigation, it's, I feel like we're getting closer and closer every day to figure out who is responsible. I think that we're doing pretty good. And we're having multiple different tips coming in just from all over. So, and a lot of things are really really point us in the right direction. So it's definitely helping out.
Okay. Yeah, one thing I think that's interesting, that's pretty unusual, and again, I don't know if this is helpful, but that I think is kind of unusual is at the end of the day, this racing community is pretty tight knit, and it's fairly hard to keep secrets, I think. But this whole love triangle situation with Colin and Mo and Caitlyn, I think somehow they managed to keep that pretty tight, and there were probably only, I don't know, 6 or 8 or 10 of us that knew about it. I don't think the greater cycling community knew. And I think Mo, having just gotten out of a really long-term relationship and being so young, probably was just sort of I don't think she totally understood what was going on, and obviously I don't know that Colin was particularly forthcoming with where his relationship was at with Caitlyn. So yeah, I don't know if that really matters at this point, but for what it's worth, I don't know that any sort of relationship between Colin and Mo was, I don't know that many people were aware of it.
Well, all right. Perfect.
Best of luck.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, for one question I have, and again, you might not be able to share this, but is there precedent for kind of making, if y'all decide that you feel like Caitlyn is a prime suspect, is that something that you would make public information, or how would that work?
So it depends, and this is just for anyone in general that would be kind of like a suspect. We obviously, once they're a suspect, I mean, we won't really release that information exactly now. Whenever an arrest warrant is issued, though, all arrest warrants, that's all public information, and so things of that, like that's whenever names and stuff could be released on like who the suspect actually is and stuff. I mean, if we just have somebody like in mind and we're like, oh hey, well this person could be a suspect and this person could be a suspect.
Yeah.
We're not really going to release all that stuff because we don't really know. But now once the warrant is actually issued, now all of that warrant information and stuff, that's all public record. That's whenever we would be able to identify like who the suspect is.
Yep. Okay. Gotcha. Do you have any feel for what that timeline might be?
Unfortunately not. I would love to be able to say soon. But it's going to depend on getting some information back and seeing how quickly I can get some of that information. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. And she is missing, right? Like she's pieced out somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I wouldn't necessarily say that she's necessarily missing. I mean, especially with this just now happening, being the weekend and whatnot. I don't know if I'd say like, oh, like everybody's on the run at this point,
Okay. Fair enough. Cool. And it sounds like y'all did get the information regarding that conversation she had a few months ago about buying a gun and killing Mo and that sort of thing.
Yes. Somebody else had called and spoken to us about all that.
Yep. Okay. I wasn't there for that conversation, but I was actually one table over. Yeah.
I guess obviously you're familiar with that whole thing since you brought it up. The way that it was described to us was basically that she was just extremely angry, like kind of like in a rage and what. Yeah. Have you ever seen her like that at any other time? Is that something that's like normal for her to be like? Or
the one time I maybe kind of saw it was, again, it's sort of a weird example, but when we were over for dinner and we were talking about vaccines, and when I mentioned that I sort of disagree with her about that, and how I felt like we had a social responsibility or whatever, she just seemed to like really bristle and like dig her heels in and kind of got I don't know her very well, and it just got awkward very quickly is what I would say. And typically, if I have a disagreement with someone about that, like, it can be a healthy conversation, and her face completely changed, and she just was like not there for any exchange whatsoever, just like immediate stonewall, kind of like fuck you attitude. Like I'm not even gonna entertain another perspective on this, which was my first experience with like, whoa, this person seems a little different. So I don't know, like, obviously not a whole lot there, but that's maybe my only experience with her, being on edge or something emotionally. One other, again, I don't know if this helps, but the night before, she theoretically talked about buying a gun and stuff. I was at a different dinner, and again, I was one table over, but I remember looking over and she was sitting next to Colin, and I just remember thinking how she was just like all over him that night, like practically in his lap, just like it was a fairly formal dinner, and she just constantly had her arms around him, and it just felt very possessive, and like at that point I remember walking in not knowing that she was going to be at that event, and then also not having heard anything recently about where her and Colin's relationship was, and then all of a sudden she was there and she was just all over him, and I remember thinking this feels almost like performative in a way. And so that caught me off guard a little bit too, but all that said, like, there was nothing. I wish I'd overheard that conversation about buying a gun, but I didn't, and there was nothing previously that would have sent up red flags to this extent, obviously. Otherwise, we sure as hell would have told somebody. So it's sort of like hindsight. I can see her doing it, but in hindsight. Anyway.
Well, perfect. Well, thank you so much for calling and telling us all that. That's super helpful.
Yep. Best of luck.
And again, I mean, in this one, I've explained to several people. I mean, like, even if it's just the small, you may think that it's the smallest thing in the world. Call and let us know, because you never know. Okay. It could be something huge to help us out.
Yep. One other, this is super small, but I've actually heard of this happening before. Sometimes, I don't think she'd be dumb enough to make this mistake, but, and obviously I'm pretty focused on this being Caitlyn, so maybe I've already got, crazy bias for some reason, but, in regards to Strava, I've seen that happen where someone might have, a device, whether it's like a Garmin or a smartwatch or something, and they have it on some sort of auto upload setting, and like maybe they just go out for a run or something and they don't mean for it to upload, and all of a sudden it like auto uploads and pops up on their profile momentarily before they notice and take it down. I don't know if that's already on your radar or something to keep your eye out for, but I've seen that happen before. Like if you're looking for some way to kind of get a read on where she is or what she's doing or what she, since social media is down, her Strava account is not deleted, which I think is interesting. And so there is the chance that something, maybe she goes for a run and like automatically auto uploads it or something.
Oh, yeah. All right. Perfect. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Best of luck.
All right, thanks.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
If you have a seat right here on this white chair right here, the detective is going to come and talk to you. I know you have water. If you need something, just knock on this door. It's not locked.
And just leave it open?
I can leave it a little open, but I don't want you to hear a lot of the noise coming from the upstairs. There's 2 calls that we're working, and you know, sometimes people might say something that might upset you or something like that. So, okay. All right. So I'm just gonna leave it open. That's all right.
Hey, man.
Hi.
Hey, so I'm just the So, I'm terribly sorry that you're having to go through all this. I cannot even imagine what you're going through, and I'm not going to pretend like I know what you're going through, because I don't know. But I do want to say that I'm very sorry that this is all happening. You doing okay? I bet. I'm really sorry. So I want to find out what happened. You know, I want to know anything and everything, just so I can try to figure out, like, you know, what went on, and we can figure out who did this, and we can go out and get them. Okay. So, real quick, what is your name?
My name is Caitlyn, Caitlin. My last name is Cash, Cash.
And what's your birthday? What's a good phone number for you?
5.
Do you have an email address by any chance? What is that?
Yeah, it's my first name, and then my last name, and then the number.
And so, what is your friend's name?
Mariah Wilson. It's Moriah. She goes by Mo, and her last name is Wilson. But Mariah is her middle name. I think her first name is Anna. I think.
Okay. Do you know what her birthday is?
I have no idea. I know she's 26.
What about her phone number?
I mean, it's in my phone, but my phone is inside my house.
Okay. And what type of phone is that you have?
I have an iPhone.
Is it like a certain color, or is there a case on it?
It's just a black case.
Okay. And where should that phone be?
I don't know. I mean, I used it to call 911, and it was sitting in the bathroom, and 911 was on speakerphone while I did the compressions.
Okay.
So it's maybe on the bathroom floor.
Okay. And then what type of phone does Mo have?
She also has an iPhone.
Do you remember what type of case it might have had on it, or did it have a case?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long have you known Mo?
I've known her since October of last year.
How was it that y'all met?
We met at a bike event. She's a professional cyclist, and we met at a bike event in Arkansas.
Was that up in Bentonville?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's when we officially met. But I have a bed and breakfast property in East Burke, Vermont.
Okay.
And that's where she's from, and that's where her family is East Burke, Vermont.
Okay. You said East Burke?
Mm-hmm. Burke.
So how many times has she come down to visit you?
This is the second time.
Okay. When was the first time that she came?
Right after we met.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sometime in around October, November of 2021?
She was here in November because she left right before Thanksgiving.
How does she normally come down here? Does she drive? Does she fly?
She flew. Both times.
Okay. How long is it that she normally stays?
The first time she came down, she stayed like 2.5 weeks, I think. And she stayed with me probably one of those weeks. And then this time she was in town from Tuesday to Tuesday.
Okay.
Because she's in town for a bike race outside of Dallas.
Okay.
That's on Saturday. I picked her up from the airport yesterday.
And whenever she came in the first time, like what did y'all do? Did y'all meet anybody? Did y'all go anywhere?
We went, we did a lot of things.
Okay.
We did a lot of things. We went shopping with my sister. We went to eat Mexican food. We went to a bike race. She went to Marfa. She came back. We cooked a lot together.
Okay. Did she meet anybody while she was here that first time?
She has a college friend here.
Okay.
That she stayed with a little bit. The only people that I know she knows in Austin is her college friend, and I don't know that person's name.
Okay.
She's married.
Mo was married?
No.
Okay, the college friend. Okay.
And then the only other person she knows is Colin Strickland, who she was supposed to be meeting tonight.
So how does she know Colin?
Colin's also a professional bike racer.
Okay.
So they know each other through bike racing.
Okay. And so what were her plans for tonight?
She was going to go swimming with Colin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Around what time?
I finished work at 4. I saw she was still working on her computer at my table. I left about 5:30, I think, to go to dinner with some friends, and she said she's going to go swimming with Colin and to get a drink. And she had gone on a big bike ride, and I said, are you going to get enough to eat? You need to eat something. And she said, well, pretty much I'll eat something.
Mm-hmm.
I was concerned she wasn't going to get enough to eat.
Yeah. And did she tell you all this in person, or was this on the phone, over text?
It was in person, but it was also, she sent me one text message because when I got off of work, one of my best friends is my neighbor, and I went over to my best friend's house because she had gotten me a boba tea, and I went to get the boba tea, and Mo texted me while I was at my friend's house saying, I think I'm going to go to swim with Colin.
Okay.
And then I came home because I was 2 doors down.
Yeah.
And we talked about it in person.
Okay.
And I said, something to the effect, because she doesn't have a car, I said something to the effect of, I'll be on South First Street, why don't you let me know when you're done?
Yeah. Okay. And did she ever text you or call you any after that? Okay.
Not that I don't think so, but I didn't really look in my phone.
Yeah.
Like I pretty much left dinner. I dropped one of my friends off at the JW Marriott,
Mm-hmm.
and then I came home.
Okay.
So she might have, but I might have missed it.
Yeah. Did she say where they were going to go swimming at? Mm-hmm. Is there a place where they would normally go swim?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what about Colin?
Mm-hmm.
Does he still lives here in Austin?
Yeah, he lives in Austin.
Okay.
Yeah, he is, I don't know him that well, he's an acquaintance. I kind of only know him through Mo. They were not dating when she was here in the fall, but she did stay with him for a couple of days.
Okay.
And they, I think, were sleeping together.
Yeah.
And then they broke things off, pretty much.
Okay.
It was like...
And that was during the fall?
Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to think. I spent Christmas with her family in Vermont. I'm trying to think if they were talking then or not.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Okay. And so before you ended up coming down here,
Mm-hmm.
It's my understanding you spoke with some officers
Mm-hmm.
already out there at your house. Obviously we want to
Mm-hmm.
be able just to try to search your residence to be able to get anything possible
Mm-hmm.
to be able to figure out who did this.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to make sure that's okay with you,
Yes.
that we search your residence and
Yes.
that we have your full consent.
Full consent.
Okay.
Please.
And at any point in time, I just want you to know if you're like, no, I don't want to give consent anymore, you can tell me
Mm-hmm.
at any point in time. It's completely fine. You can always withdraw your consent, and it's totally fine. You just have to just tell me, and I can make a very, very quick phone call and make sure that they know that, hey, you don't want us searching your residence.
No, I want you to help.
Okay. Yes. Okay. And that's exactly what we want to do. We want to figure out who did this. So, Colin,
Mm-hmm.
you said that they ended their relationship sometime in the fall.
I mean, a relationship is too strong of a word for what it was.
Okay.
It was like...
Kind of like a fling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're both in the bike world. Yeah. He was kind of like a mentor. He helped her. This is her first year as a professional cyclist.
Okay.
He helped her with mentorship, and they were on the same team. They both ride on the same team.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think it was just kind of a fling for when she was here, mostly.
Yeah.
I don't think it went a whole lot past when she was not here.
What team is it that they're on?
They're a part of the Meteor, like the Meteor Cafe on South Congress.
Okay.
The Meteor has a team.
Okay. And did she ever say anything about if she had already spoken to Colin and that he was on his way over, or
Mm-mm.
did she mention how she was gonna get to wherever they were swimming at?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah. I should have asked a lot more questions, and I didn't. She usually rides her bike everywhere.
Okay.
I just kind of assumed he was going to pick her up.
Yeah.
He's been to my house before.
So whenever she rides, does she, do you know if she tracks her rides through like Strava or anything like that? And is that something that she will always do? Or is it only if she's going on like long rides will she track it?
I don't know if she would track a commute or not.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's a really, really nice bike that she has.
Yeah.
It seems unlikely that she would ride that like as a commuter bike.
Okay.
I don't know if that's me assuming that he picked her up or not, but that's her race bike. I mean, that's a really expensive bike.
Yeah.
That's not something you just like ride and you like leave locked.
Did she bring another bike with her, or was that the only one that she brought? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen her ride that bike like as a commuter, or would she only take that out on, you know, like, hey, I'm going to go train, I'm going on a long ride today?
Last time she had her college roommates like a commuter bike.
Okay.
And then she also had her race bike.
Mm-hmm.
So she would use the commuter bike around town and the race bike when she would go out and ride.
Okay. So it would basically be a little bit out of the ordinary for her to use her race bike to go and ride someplace nearby?
I don't know, because she didn't have a commuter this time.
Okay.
And she just got here last night.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay. Whenever she got here, did she say that she had already spoken to anybody else, or any plans that she may have mentioned of saying, hey, I talked to so and so?
Only Colin.
Okay.
Yeah, she doesn't know any people here. She's not.
Okay.
She doesn't spend a lot of time here.
Okay.
This is only her second time to Austin.
So she wouldn't be extremely familiar with the area just in general then. So if she were to ride someplace, would she
have to have mapped it.
Okay, and that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And so what time, let's see, you left at 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
And she seemed fine, wasn't worried about anything?
No.
Just a normal, everything was normal basically?
Yes,
okay.
Everything was normal.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah. And whenever you left, what time was it that you got back?
I don't know. I know it's on my, we can look on my phone.
Okay. That's totally fine. So when you left, where was it that you ended up going?
I was at dinner with my college roommates at Fresas on South First.
And what was it called?
Fresas.
Fresas?
Mm-hmm. Fresa. Fresas.
You said it's on South First?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was with them. I was the first one to get there. I got us a table. They arrived. Yeah, happy hour ended at 6 because we made it right before 6.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, it's just taking me a second.
No. There's no reason to apologize about anything. You're going through a whirlwind of emotions right now.
So I got to Fresas. We stayed for what felt like a long time. I know that my college roommate is in town for like a psychology conference, and she said, oh wow, it's 9 o'clock. So I know it was after 9 that we left, and I dropped her off at the JW Marriott, which is where she's staying. And then I drove the 10 minutes home, probably. I called my friend Nick on the way home. And then I got home.
Okay. And so whenever you got home, were you still on the phone with Nick?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
When I got home, she has a travel case that is a bike bag.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what she like. It's like if you were to travel with skis, you have like your skis in a bag.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with a bike.
Okay.
And so she had a bike bag, and she had left it on the porch because she built her bike this morning.
Yeah.
And I said, before I left, I said, Mo, make sure you take this inside just in case I don't want it to get stolen.
Yeah.
And when I got home, the bike bag was down. So I live in a second-story garage apartment.
Okay.
Up some stairs.
Okay.
And I park in a patio underneath my porch.
Okay.
And so there's like, this is my parking spot. These are the stairs up to the door. And the bike bag was like right in front of the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really unusual.
Okay.
And I felt weird about that.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
It's just like, it shouldn't be there.
And are you saying that it was at the bottom of the stairs or
Yeah,
at the top of the stairs?
at the bottom of the
Okay.
stairs.
Okay.
Just like for anyone to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
And so I got out, I had my leftovers, I walked up the stairs and I was going to put my leftovers upstairs and come down and get it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked up the stairs and the lights were all on. And the door, I have a keypad entry code.
Okay.
And it will tell you exactly what time it was unlocked.
Yeah.
And locked.
Okay.
On my phone, I have an app.
Okay.
It was unlocked. The door was closed, but it was unlocked from what I remember. And I walked in, and it's like one big room, and she was laying down. I could see her feet sticking out of the bathroom, like she was laying on her back on the tile.
Okay.
Which is actually not unusual because she lays on the floor when she comes home from rides.
Okay.
And the tile would have been cool. And so I was like, hey Mo, what you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And then I walked the 10 feet over there and she was completely bloody.
Okay. And whenever you first initially walked in, you see her feet and you're thinking everything's normal, she just got back from a ride or something. Did anything else in the apartment stand out as saying, like, why is this moved over here? Like, what's going on? Like, why is this knocked over?
Nothing was knocked over. Her computer or like her stuff was right there. The only thing that was like different was I have a pantry. It's a little green shelf pantry.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of by the bathroom, and the doors to the pantry were open.
Yeah.
And there was chocolate on the ground, like chocolate bars that I had in my pantry.
Uh-huh.
It was like she had gotten down to open the pantry and got out chocolate bars.
Okay.
And that's the only thing that was out of the ordinary.
Okay. And
but you can't really see that when you walk in. I only noticed that when I left the bathroom.
Yeah. And so the chocolate bars themselves, is it are they anything like high protein bars?
No,
would it be
they're
something that she would eat after a ride?
No, they're my chocolate bars.
Okay.
They came from the pantry.
Okay.
She does like chocolate.
Yeah.
But she wasn't like, She was in a dress. She's not going on a
Okay.
hard ride.
Okay.
She's going to like do something fun.
Yeah. Okay. And so, whenever you ended up seeing her, then what happened?
I thought she had slipped and hit her head.
Okay.
Because she was laying on her back and she had her baseball cap in her hand and was still holding her baseball cap. And there was, I have white tile. She's got really long hair. And there was blood all under her hair.
Mm-hmm.
And her face was bloody and her hair was matted. And I dropped everything in my hands and bent down and tried to wake her up.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty quickly realized she wasn't waking up. And so I called 911 immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And they honestly took a long time to answer.
Yeah.
I kept trying. I think at one point I may have hung up and tried again.
Okay.
Because I was like on hold.
Yeah.
And then I talked to them and put them on speakerphone.
Yeah.
And they had me do chest compressions. And when I was doing the chest compressions, they had me count out loud.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kept counting. And at one point they told me to go faster. And then she started throwing up.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fluids.
Yeah.
And they told me to turn her head to the side.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't choke on it.
Yeah.
And then I turned her head to the side and I was trying to move her hair out of the way. And there was, I think that's when I saw that there is a bullet casing on the mat.
Okay.
Next to my knee.
Yeah.
Because there was so much blood I couldn't see what was happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I know she wasn't breathing.
Yeah.
But I did not stop the chest compressions until the EMS arrived.
Mm-hmm.
And then I backed up and I sat on the floor next to the toilet. And then they took me out of the house.
Yeah. Okay.
But I didn't know she was dead.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't touch her face very much.
Mm-hmm.
I know that my walls are white, and I know that there was blood splatter on the walls.
Yeah.
But she was literally just on her back.
Yeah.
And had her cap in one hand, and I don't know what the other hand was doing.
Okay. And do you own any firearms in the house at all?
No.
Did she bring a firearm?
No.
Okay.
No.
What about Colin? Do you know if Colin owns any firearms?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know him that well.
Yeah. Okay. And was there anybody else other than Colin that she was supposed to be meeting up with tonight, or that would have come over? Or?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I don't actually know if she met Colin.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
No. And the only reason I keep bringing him up is because he's the only person that we know of that she was supposed to be meeting.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really know what else to say.
Okay. And so then, basically, I guess whenever they had you come outside, and then around at some point that was whenever officers ended up arriving, and well, I'm gonna take that back. Whenever you came outside, was there, obviously you're going through a whole lot right then, dealing with a lot. Was there anything once you came outside that you noticed different? Okay.
No, nothing.
Okay.
Like literally nothing at all. Her bike was not inside.
Okay.
Her bike, I think they found it, they had me describe it. And I can tell you exactly what it is. And I think they found it down the alley maybe.
Yeah.
But she would have brought, under normal circumstances, she would have brought her bike upstairs and it would be sitting right by the front door.
Okay. What type of bike was it?
It's a Specialized, and it's abbreviated on the side as S-Works. And the model is a Crux, C-R-U-X. It's her racing bike. It's brand new. It's matte black. It has the S-Works is in white lettering, and the top cap on it is bright blue. It's got her pedals on it.
What color are pedals?
They're silver. She would have probably been wearing a helmet if she was riding. I didn't see the helmet in there. It's a team helmet. It's got can't remember if it's scratch labs on the side of the team helmet or not. It's got some writing on the side.
Okay.
You have them start.
Yeah. So, CSU unit, our crime scene unit, so they're here right now. So, let me tell you this up front. By no means in the world do I think that you did any of this. Okay. But so what they're gonna do, we're just gonna have them swab your hands for gunshot residue.
Okay.
Now again, let me reiterate again. I don't think that you ended up doing this, but say that once we do find the person that did do this, and if we don't do this to you, then in court they can say, oh, well, what about this other person? Why didn't you do this part of the investigation? And that's one of the only things. Okay, so I don't want you to get offended about anything of us, thinking that you're responsible, because again, I don't.
I'm just trying to help.
No, of course, exactly.
So do you just want GSR and swab hands?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Did you want to do a bubble swab?
Probably so. So so a buccal swab. What that is basically just a small little DNA swab. Just goes on the inside of your mouth. It's like a Q-tip, basically. Is that something that you would be okay with?
What's it for though?
It's all it is just for DNA comparison. Say that we do swabs on Mo, and we get DNA off of Mo. Well, we would need something to compare that DNA with. So if we have your DNA,
my DNA is all over her.
well, exactly 100%. I 100% know that. But if say that we find DNA on her, and we say, okay, well here let's compare that to friend's DNA, and we compare it. It's like, okay, well, it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's somebody else's DNA. But we won't know that unless we actually have your DNA.
And my DNA is all over my house.
No, yeah. And I 100%, I completely understand that. And again, let me reiterate again, like I said, I'm not, I have zero reason to believe that you did any of this. I really don't think that you did. And I want to find out who did it. So is that something that you would be okay with?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
This is one of my best friends in the whole world.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to take a picture, full body, then just your face, and then both of your hands, both sides. Also sorry that it's so bright. Okay. The hands. And turn. Okay. Actually, turn around so I can just get the back. Sorry. Okay. I'll just put this on. Left hand. And are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm right-handed. You told me you may need to...
Yeah, I'm going to swab the blood also.
Getting all of her things. You said that y'all had met originally at a race up in Arkansas.
Yeah.
What type of bike is it that you have?
I have two bikes. I have a mountain bike. That's a Trek. It's gray. And then I have a gravel bike. It's also a Trek. And it's called a Trek Checkpoint. And it's white.
Okay.
And they both live upstairs in my loft.
Okay.
Hands. Are there any on this hand?
your bikes whenever you went in?
No, they were kind of behind like a shelf upstairs. So to see them, you kind of have to go upstairs.
Okay. So it's not something that you would have noticed just like as you're walking in. You would have actually had to go and look for those. Okay. And you mentioned that you have an app on your phone that tells you whenever the door is, like the door's unlocked or locked.
Yeah.
Is if you like manually unlock it or manually lock it, does that still go through the app, or is it only whenever that code is put in?
I think it will still tell you.
Okay.
If you manually do it.
Okay.
She has my code.
Okay.
My door code.
Yeah.
So she would have used my door code to get in and out.
Okay.
Just open your mouth a little bit.
Like the only people that have door codes are like my dad and my sister.
Anybody else?
I have some people that work for me. I think each of them have a door code. It'll tell us in the app.
And is there any type of video associated with your with like the lock on it or anything, or it basically just alerts you like whenever the code is put?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it sends me a notification on my phone.
Okay.
So I can see who goes in and who goes out.
Oh, okay. Okay. And is it one specific code, or is it like multiple codes for different people?
It's multiple codes for different people for the most part, but like I wouldn't make her a code because she's just there with me.
Yeah.
So like my dad has his own, the girl that works for me has her own, my sister has her own, I have mine. I just put up new lights on my porch because my porch and patio are really dark.
Okay.
Like literally yesterday,
Yeah.
I put up new street lights.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a motion detector at the bottom of the stairs, like where the patio is, but it doesn't turn on until you get almost to the bottom of the stairs, and the stairs are really dark.
Oh, okay.
They're really dark.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's no camera.
Yeah. Okay.
But there are condos next door, and they're really nice, and I don't know if they have cameras.
Okay.
Did you need anything else?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And whenever you get the alert on your phone about the door code being used, is it basically kind of like the same notifications like a text message or something, like something that gets pushed through to your phone that you would actually get alerted?
Yeah, it's a notification on my phone.
Do you remember if whenever you were out eating, if you got a notification on your phone, or did you even?
I have my phone turned over.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even have it upright.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't, like, it comes up and then I think it goes away if I don't, like, look at it.
Okay, yeah.
But it has a log. The app has a log of when it was unlocked and locked.
Okay.
So we can look back at the log and see exactly, like, if she even left. I don't know.
Okay. And if we were able to get your phone to you, would you be willing to be able to like open that up and show it to me?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. All right, I'm gonna step out for just a minute. Do you need to go to the restroom or anything? Yeah, definitely. Go to your left. Alright, and this is your phone, correct? Back of it. Is that yours? If you
Okay. So she left at 5:55 is when it was locked. And then it was unlocked at 8:36. Do you want me to send a screenshot of this?
I'm actually also going to take a photo of that.
Okay.
So, okay, and it says
That's
so
my code.
so your access code.
Mm-hmm. These are the people that have codes. But it was my code that was used.
And how many people actually know your code?
Not many, because I just changed it.
Okay.
I usually set them as the last 4 digits of people's phone numbers so that they can remember.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I just changed mine somewhat recently.
Okay.
So,
Do you remember how long ago you changed it?
I mean, I can probably tell you. I mean, I can like reach out to the people and see if there's a way they can see when I changed it.
What?
I mean, within the last month.
Okay.
I've had the lock since October.
Yeah.
This is the last text message she sent me.
What was it? 5:05.
So I was at my neighbor's house still. There's a little bit of a flare on the top. Do you want to do it again? And then I called Shannon when I left the house. So it was exactly 5:30.
And what time? Go back to what time you called?
Nick. 9:45.
And you said that was whenever you. That was after you dropped off.
After I dropped
Okay.
Rachel. And then I called 911 at 9:54. And I was on the phone with them for 10 fucking whole minutes.
And then I do also have a question for you as well. So, so is that Mo's phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that Mo's computer? Okay. And then what about all these bags?
Those are all hers.
Okay. So both of these bags, the black backpack and then the other bag below it, that's all Mo's. Okay. And then there was this other phone that was also in the bedroom.
That's my work phone.
Okay, so that's your work
Yep.
phone. Okay.
Can you tell me, did they call her mom?
So I don't know if they have or not.
Okay.
Our victim services, they will be the ones to call.
Okay.
So, do you know if Mo had her like ID or anything like that, like in her bags or?
I'm trying to think like what she had them in. I think she must, I don't know what her wallet looks like.
Okay.
I don't know what her wallet looks like.
Do you know her mom's number?
Yes.
And her name?
Yeah, her mom's name is Karen. That's her mom's number.
Okay. All right.
Her mom's in Eastburg. Can you tell me, did they take her from my house?
So our crime scene unit, they're still there right now. They're processing everything.
She's just still laying there.
So right now she is, because we want to make sure that we do everything right.
No, I understand, but she's just by herself.
I know.
Okay. But they're not gonna leave her.
No.
Like, she'll never be, like, actually alone.
No, not at all.
Okay. What is that? Like, when do they call her parents?
So we have to basically wait on the medical examiner. Which is why I was kind of asking a little bit about the IDs and stuff. So if the medical examiner will end up taking her as an identified person, if she says yes, this is Mo. We positively identified her as Mo. You know that she's Mo.
Who positively?
The medical examiner.
But I have to identify her?
No.
Or her mom?
No. So the medical examiner, they're going to make that determination tonight to say, hey, yes, we have either a state issued ID, or they might just say, hey, friend is over here and said that yes, this is Mo. And then if they say yes, we have officially made a positive identification, then our victim services counselors, they can contact family.
So it may not be until tomorrow?
I don't know. I wish that I could tell you exactly when they were going to do it, but honestly, I don't know when. It would be no later than tomorrow. I can't tell you that.
Okay. Do you want Colin's number?
Yes, I do actually. And does he try to message you or call you or anything? Or?
No. Okay. Well, I don't know this number.
So that was us. We called because there were 3 phones that were inside the apartment, and so I was like, well, I'm just gonna call one. And I had the other detective just kind of look to see who it was, or which phone it was that started ringing. So that was us. That's our phone number. Is there anything else that you can think of that might help us figure out who did this?
No, I feel like getting into her phone and seeing if she tracked her ride is important.
Okay. Do you know if her phone has a password on it?
I would assume so, but I don't know it.
Okay. Do you think Mom would know it?
Her mom or maybe her brother. I can give you her brother's number.
What is her brother's name?
Her brother's name is Matt. He's really young though.
Okay. When you say really young, how young?
Like 23. They're 24.
Okay.
They're really close in age. Okay, that's her brother's number, and that's their address in Vermont too, if you need that.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Did they say if my bikes were there?
Yes, your bikes are there.
So nothing. What else is helpful?
Other than the pantry doors being open, is there anything else that you can think of that might have just been kind of just weird, just kind of off?
No, it's not like the water was running. It's not like it just all happened so quickly that I didn't like really look around. The pantry doors were the only thing I noticed because all the chocolate was all over the floor.
Yeah.
I noticed the bullet on the carpet. I think I picked it up when I was on the phone with 911 because I didn't know what it was.
Like the actual bullet or like the casing?
I don't know. Really, I guess the casing.
Yeah, okay.
Like a metal, like hollow thing.
Was it?
Because she started vomiting, and I got scared because I didn't know if the fluid was.
So the part that you picked up, was it like this silver part, or was it like this copper part?
There wasn't copper on it, but it was.
Well, they do come in different colors, all of them. So it's not necessarily saying that this would be the same color as what you saw.
But it didn't. It was hollow inside.
So this metal piece would not have been there, but it would have been shaped.
Yeah.
Just like this. And that was the part that you picked up? Okay. And that was the one that was in the...
It was on the carpet mat in the bathroom.
Okay.
So she was here, and I was kneeling, doing chest compressions, and then at some point in the middle, a bunch of fluid came out, and I couldn't tell if it was coming from...
Okay.
I couldn't tell if it was her brain or if it was coming out of her mouth.
Okay.
And that's because it was leaking everywhere, and that's when I noticed the bullet on the floor and freaked out. Because I thought up until that point that she had fallen and hit her head.
Yeah. Okay.
But they don't know what happened yet.
No.
They just know there's a bullet.
And that's just what we're trying to figure out.
I mean, her face was so bloody and the hair was everywhere. It was really hard to tell.
Is there anything else that you can think of? Could be just the smallest thing.
Am I able to see pictures of the house? Because I don't remember, but if I saw it, I could tell you if that looks right or not right.
Okay. So
nothing was knocked over.
Okay.
Like nothing seemed. The only like really weird thing was the bike bag downstairs.
Yeah.
That thing is big. It's heavy. It's not like a. I mean, it's like 5 feet long.
Yeah.
Like it's a big bag.
Okay.
There's no reason it should be at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
Okay. And you said that that bag was originally sitting upstairs next to the door.
It was on the porch.
It was on the porch. Okay.
It was on the porch because that she built her bike. Because it comes disassembled in the bag, and you have to build it. And then I left, and then I I opened the door again, and that was the last thing I said to her was, bring this bike back inside.
Okay.
Before you leave, because I don't want it to get stolen.
And so she was actually in the process of building her bike whenever you left?
No. She already built it. She went on a ride that day.
Okay.
She was sitting at the kitchen island.
Okay.
On her computer.
Okay. And as far as her computer goes, is that something that is also password protected, or do you know?
I don't know. It's her work computer.
Okay.
She told me she has her work computer and her personal computer with her.
Okay.
Her work computer, she just put her 2 weeks notice in at her job.
Okay.
So she has her personal computer with her because in 2 weeks she has to send her work computer back.
Okay. The one that I showed you, do you know if that is her?
Yeah, because she hates working on Dells. That's her work computer.
Okay, so that one is her work computer. And then
her personal computer should be Mac.
Okay. Do you know where that would be?
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen her take it out.
Okay, so it might still just like be in her bag or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like all of the normal lights that I would turn on were on.
Yeah.
Like the bathroom light was on. The kitchen lights were on. She stayed at my place before.
Yeah.
Like she knows her way around my house. I'm trying to like think if there was anything weird. The door was unlocked, which is why I knew she was home.
Yeah.
But it wasn't open. It was just unlocked. None of the plants on the porch were messed up. Like all her stuff is just on the couch per normal. It's not like, I mean, like it's not like the computer is taken.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was holding her hat. She still had her shoes on. Which is kind of why I thought she'd just gotten home.
So I guess there's a detective out there right now. He said it looks like there's like some sort of like palm prints, like on the front window. Do you know if those have been there, or I haven't seen them, so I don't know how visible those are.
Like on my door? My door is a window door.
I'm not sure, because again, I haven't seen exactly how all that's set up.
If it's the window on the porch, I put in the AC unit the day before. So my dad and I put the AC unit in.
Okay.
And so we were lifting the window Like, that's the only thing I could think of on the window itself.
Okay. And when did y'all put that in?
Yesterday.
Okay, so yesterday
I did a bunch
y'all.
of house projects because she was coming, and I wanted it to feel nice.
Okay. And you said that y'all put your hands on it and then just kind of like lifted up the window,
it's a
basically.
Freaking really big AC window unit.
Okay.
And it's really hot in there.
Okay.
And so we put it in yesterday. And so if there's palm prints on the window itself, then it could be from the AC when we were putting it in, because that was just yesterday.
Okay.
But on the door, the front door is a window.
Okay.
It's like a full window because you have to close the blinds to the front door.
Okay.
And nobody would have really put their palms
okay.
on the front door.
Okay.
I don't even think since she got here yesterday afternoon, I don't think anybody else has been to the house. Because my neighbor comes over a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody else has been over there. It's like not, like you wouldn't put your palm on the glass part of the door.
Yeah. And he might have been talking about the window where the AC unit is. I'm not really sure. I can follow up with him.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been my dad and I. We were wrestling it to get it in the window.
Okay.
Yesterday.
Okay. And so the race that she was going up to, up in Dallas, was this like a big like professional race?
Yeah, it's called Gravel Locos.
Okay.
And it's in Hyco, Texas. And we have a big Vermont crew that was coming in.
Okay.
So on Saturday, she was going to leave tomorrow. She was going to drive my car tomorrow because there's a VIP pro dinner tomorrow.
Okay.
And there was this South African mountain biker who was going to fly in tomorrow. And the two of them were going to borrow my car and drive up there. So I think she was going to pick him up from the airport.
And you said that he was actually supposed to be flying in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he still is flying in tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. So, did she drink any alcohol or anything?
She drinks wine.
Okay.
But she's really strict on her food and stuff because she's a professional athlete.
Of course, yeah.
So she'll have like a glass.
Yeah. Okay.
She goes to bed early. She's like really straight lace.
You said early, like what time is it that she would normally go to bed?
Well, I only say that because she fell asleep before midnight for New Year's Eve. Like last night, she shares my king bed, so we sleep in the same bed. And last night, we went to bed at 10:40.
Okay.
And she slept late this morning.
Okay.
Yeah, she woke up at like 8:15.
Okay.
Because I went to a yoga class and I came back at 8. And I was trying to be really quiet and then woke her up, like right when I got back.
Yeah. Okay. Any drug use or anything?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
She's probably never smoked a cigarette or smoked anything in her life.
Okay.
She's healthy.
Yeah.
She's healthy.
And as far as do you know if for Gravel Locos, would they have been doing drug tests prior to the race?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, now that well, maybe not this race.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest races of the season is coming up in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
in Kansas, and they may have done it for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, she's like, just like really strict with her.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there a number I can call if I think of something else?
Yes, and I was actually going to give you my card before you end up leaving.
Okay.
So that is my card.
Are you guys going to tell me when you talk to her family?
I can let you know when.
Okay.
And so that's my name. That number is my direct desk line number.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously my email address. This number goes directly to my cell phone.
Okay.
So if you think of anything, you can always give me a call.
Okay. What happens to my house?
So they're, like I said, they're processing everything right now. They'll try to take fingerprints, any type of DNA swabs if they possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
The medical examiner's office for Travis County, they have to come out, and then they will pick up Mo, and they'll take her to the medical examiner's office here in Austin.
But they can't find her ID.
So I don't know if they've actually looked for her ID yet or not. That's why I was asking you if you know like where she might keep it, just in case if the detective that's already out there right now, if he's like, hey, I don't know where her ID is. Does anybody know? Then that way I say, oh yeah,
okay.
It might be in her bags. So. As far as her laptop and her cell phone, we will probably end up taking that with us so that we can see like if anybody sent her any weird messages recently, if anybody called her, after she ended up getting back to your house, just anything that might lead us just in the right direction.
Okay.
So whenever you go, if you see that some of that stuff is missing, don't worry. It's because we took it.
Okay.
That's why.
I mean, I'm not worried about that, but just.
No, yeah.
I'm like the only person she has here.
Yeah.
So it makes me really anxious that she's alone.
Yeah.
And that her family doesn't know yet. I think they need to know.
Okay. And I can definitely talk with our victim services and find out when that notification is going to be made, because normally they're the ones that will do notifications and stuff like that. So they would actually be able to give you a much better idea of when that's actually going to be completed.
I can't like sit there all day tomorrow and not know, like not have them know.
Yeah. Yeah, and
like I talked to them today. So.
Yeah, and I'll definitely ask them and find out.
Okay.
So that way we at least know.
Okay.
I can't really think of anything else right off the top of my head.
Okay.
So with us getting your consent and everything to be able to, process the scene, collect any evidence that we possibly can to figure out who did this. So part of the consent clause is that you have to be able to withdraw your consent to us at any time. With that being said, last thing that I want is for whenever we do find out who did this, is that there would be an argument in court saying, hey, she left, and so she was not able to withdraw her consent, so therefore it's an illegal search. I don't want that to happen. And so if you wouldn't mind just kind of hanging out for a little, I hate asking you that, I really do, because you've been through so much tonight, and you've had to deal with so much.
Like I have to wait until the medical examiner comes?
If you wouldn't mind, I would appreciate it. If not, I fully understand, because
I literally,
you have my cell phone number, and so I have this with me at all times. It's on loud. I can easily answer the phone, to where if you were to call me, then I could say, all right, hey, you're withdrawing consent immediately, cool, and then that way you still have an open line of communication with us.
but if I'm saying I do not withdraw consent, you have my full consent, and I leave, that won't hold up in court if we...
You just have to have the opportunity to withdraw your consent at any time.
So this doesn't count?
It should. There should not be an issue with
Okay.
that. Yes.
Okay. But it's better if I stay.
I would appreciate. I'll talk with
Yeah.
with another detective that he, whenever it comes down to different case laws, he's a genius about all that
Yeah.
stuff. But I can talk with him a little bit more just to verify with him,
Okay.
just to make sure that this would be fine. Because honestly, I don't want you, with everything you've had to deal with, I don't want you sitting up here any longer than you have to.
I don't care. She is important.
Okay.
She's really fucking important.
Yeah.
So, if that's what I need to do, then that's what I'll do.
Okay. Perfect.
I've lived in that place for 3 years.
In the 3 years that you have lived there, has there been like anything weird?
Never.
Is there any weird people hanging out? Nothing like that.
Literally nothing. I feel so safe there.
Okay. I guess the detective out there, he had mentioned something also, like a cinder block or something that was somewhere downstairs, or like a broken piece of a cinder block. I'm not really sure exactly what he was talking about or where exactly this was.
I'm gonna have like, I don't know what they're called, like pavettes or something, like little concrete squares that
Okay.
lead to my stairs.
Okay.
Do you think that's what
It might be.
Actually, maybe I think I know what he's talking about. By the trash cans, there's sometimes a cinder block because the landlord's sons make like skate ramps.
Oh, okay.
That's maybe
Okay.
what it is.
Okay. And who is your landlord?
My last name is David Harris, and he lives in the front house.
Oh, okay.
Yep, he's right there.
Okay.
And they told me they told him.
Okay.
That they like knocked on his door.
They did. I know that they knocked on multiple doors out there. I wasn't sure who all that they've spoken to out there or not. So, but, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. There's your phone now. So you, at least you definitely have all that. And then, if you want here, we can actually go and we can talk with victim services right now, so that we can try to see what they say. Here's your water. And we'll just go to the left.